Well, praise the Lord, everybody. This is Bishop Michael Anthony coming to you from the Heart of God Family Worship Center, where we do life. Welcome to another segment of You're Not Alone. I'm excited to have this opportunity to come with you. We have started these segments throughout the holidays, navigating the holiday seasons, dealing with the voices of Christmas past. Today, I am honored to have two of our young people from our ministry. I don't want to call them youth anymore because they are definitely grown up and I am getting older. I've just had, listen, y'all needed to be here before the conversation we were having before we went live. Unbelievable. I'm promising you that tonight is going to be a powerful time. It's going to be funny. They're going to make you laugh. They're going to make you cry. Everything is going to happen in here. To my left, I've been knowing her all her life. Amen. Her name is, what's your name? It's like, no, I'm only playing. Her name is Kayla Lofton. She's been a part of the Heart of God since forever. Come on, say hi, Kayla. Tell everybody hi.
Hello.
Uh-oh, there we go. Stars are born. And on my right, now this one right here is, I need you to share this immediately because perhaps there's somebody who is younger who might be able to understand the language that they have. But, I just need you to do that for us tonight. And if you have any questions at all, please type them in the comment section. One of the social media people are watching so that we can answer some of your questions, all right? So listen, we get ready to get started. This is the holiday season. As you know, many people deal with many different challenges during the holiday season. It is very, one of the hardest times to deal with is through Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter, and even our birthdays are difficult times for everyone, especially if there's someone that you loved that God decided to take on to be with himself. Sometimes we are able to deal with it until the holiday comes around. We're fine until the holidays begin, and then all of a sudden there's a different switch that is turned on because the emotions begin to run and different things begin to take place. So tonight we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it tonight. Everyone has had this experience. We've been on since last week. Last week we talked to some men. Then we talked to some ladies last night. But tonight we want to talk to these young people. Now I'm going to start with Ziona tonight. Ziona, who is it? Well, first of all, what's been going on with you?
Nothing.
Uh-oh. What grade you in now?
11.
11th grade. Now, how many years have you been up here now?
Since 2017.
Now, how many years is that? Because I can't count.
Like 6.
6 years. So now you're in 11th grade, and you're doing well. Am I correct?
I'm fine.
All right. Well, we're thinking that you should be in pictures somewhere, doing your own little talk show or something. We're going to work on that, all right?
Okay.
So listen, let me ask you this. Who is it that was in your life that had impacted your life? And it's the holiday season. Who was that person that you miss?
My goddad and my brother.
Yeah? What happened to him?
My brother got killed in 2018. Also, my best friend, he got killed in 2017 when we first moved up here, and my dad got killed a few days after my birthday.
Wow. So what did that do for you? Let's talk about your goddad. Now, who was he to you? What kind of role did he play in your life?
He was like my dad. I never really had my dad in my life, my biological dad in my life. So he always stepped up to the plate. Anything that me, my mom, or my sisters needed, he gave it to us.
Okay. And then your best friend. Now, your best friend was killed how?
He was shot in the head.
Oh, man. And so your goddad died 2 days or on your birthday, 2 days before your birthday.
He died 5 days after my birthday.
Okay. And so every time these times of the year come about, what happens to you?
It's not really, I wouldn't really say for Thanksgiving. I just think for Christmas, because the last thing my dad said to me was that he'll see us for Christmas. And I always think we would have been in South Carolina around this time to go see him and be at his house with his family. And for my brother, it really hit me for Thanksgiving because he always liked Thanksgiving. He'll write a paragraph and then send it and be like, I love you, LOL. But now I don't get those paragraphs. I don't get those texts or FaceTimes or phone calls anymore.
So what do you do? What do you do now? What do you? How do you manage that emotion?
I don't really manage it. I don't really deal with it. I try to shut it out as much as I can. And if it's getting the best of me, I just go in my room or play music. And I really try to get away from everybody so they won't feel the energy that I'm giving off or they won't feel the same way that I'm feeling.
So when you get away from everybody else, and you're saying you don't want them to feel the energy, um, you don't think family would like to be around you to be able to help comfort you?
I mean, I would think so, but I'm not that type of person. Like when I'm going through something, I try to isolate myself. I do isolate myself. Like I just try to not let my sisters feel what I'm going through or my cousins feel what I'm going through or like let my mom see like me crying. I just go in my room or like talk. I just talk to myself and talk to God and I write down what I'm feeling. I try to manifest. I try to erase bad thoughts. I just try to keep everything as positive as I can. If I can't, I just cry.
So you said something that's really powerful. I don't know if many people do that. You write down things. They're your personal thoughts. Are they more about the person that's gone? Is it more about the things that you want to see happen in life, or is it a mixture of both? You don't have to tell us what it is that you write, but
Oh, I can tell
you can do. Okay.
you. Yeah. I have a small notebook in my room where I write down like manifestations. Like if I catch 111 or 222 or 444, I'll write it down. And like how many times a day I seen it. Like when I'm walking to school, I always see 222 or 444, 1111, and I write it down. And like every time I see 1111, I think about my dad because every time 1111 will come up, he'll play a song. He'll play Tasha Cobb's song and be like, "This is my song, girl. You know, this is my song." So it always make me think about him. But like if I'm at school and something's bothering me, I just type it in my notes. It's not necessarily about the person. It's just about what I'm feeling. If I'm feeling overwhelmed, I'll type it in my notes because I just feel like it's something that needs to be out. Because when I was growing up, I always had to keep my emotions in. I never talked about my emotions or what I felt. I was never I was never open like that, but now I'm trying to be more open with my mom and my sisters and let them know when I'm feeling the type of way instead of just shutting everybody out.
What happens when now 222 444 1111? You see them on the way to school. Those numbers trigger what they connect to. I lost you somewhere because you said 1111. That connects with your dad, correct? So how does 1111 connect with your dad? Like,
Because sometimes he would, when we used to live in a hotel, he would come pick us up and take us to school in the mornings, and we'll be sitting at the bus stop and 1111. He'll always catch 1111, and then he'll turn on the radio and connect his phone to the aux and play Tasha Cobb's song.
okay, wow, now I get it. So what about 222?
222. My brother really got me on catching angel numbers. He always would be like, "It's
Did you say
222."
catching angel numbers?
Oh, my bad.
No, no. Did you say catching angel numbers? Okay, what is that? I'm not sure what that is.
I don't really know how to explain it, or not even angel numbers, just repeated numbers, like things that I see. Like if I'll see a number, and then it'll keep repeating, keep repeating, keep repeating, and I'll look it up, and I'll be like, and then I always look up the meaning, and I'll just keep reading about it until I see it again, and it'll always be a repeating number, like 444. I see that every day. Even right when I wake up, I'll wake up at 4 o'clock, check my phone, it'll be 4:40, and I'll be like, "Oh my God." Then when I'm walking home from school, it'll be 4:40. I was like, "This got to mean something."
Okay, so everybody knows you go to church, you believe in God. We can attest to that you believe in the Lord Jesus Christ. I've watched you in church praising God, praying for your grandmother, when she was sick, and then watching God pull her through. So you're not ashamed of your faith.
At one point, I was.
Okay.
I feel like when I first moved up here, I wasn't really connected to God because we didn't really have a drive to go to church. Like we wasn't forced to go to church. It was either you want to go or you don't want to go. But I was always, "Oh yeah, I want to go to church." Like even when my mom didn't go to church, I would get up and go to church. When we lived across the street, I would come to church by myself, sit in the back. But sometimes when I do get sad or I get overwhelmed or I start thinking about stuff that happened, I will get disconnected from God. I'll stop coming to church, and my mom will be like, "Are you going to church?" I'll be like, "No." She'll be like, "Well, you're going next Sunday." It'll be next Sunday, and I won't go. And sometimes I do feel very disconnected from God, and I always try to remember to pray before I go to sleep. When I wake up, I try to pray. During the day, I'll be like, God, I just thank you for letting me open my eyes. I thank you for my family. Thank you for helping me, like, just be me, like, be vocal about what I feel, be blunt, be myself, be confident, just living life. And I always want to thank God for opening up my eyes every day.
Okay. Wow. That's powerful. That's what's up. So you done came a long way. You know, how many people can really admit that some days they don't feel really connected with God? And most believers don't have that kind of boldness to say that if they're afraid to admit that. Well, praise the Lord. It's exciting. Well, Kayla, we're going to come to you. What's going on, girl?
Nothing much.
Y'all, this is Kayla Lofton. Now, we were just talking before we got started. Not last year this time, but last year something happened. You got shot in the head, correct?
Yes.
And the Lord kept you. I remember when that happened. We were all really afraid because everybody knew who you were, how much we love you. And we're so glad that you're still here with us.
Yes.
You have how many children now?
I have 2 children, 2 boys.
You have 2 boys?
Yes.
Oh, my goodness. Now, what's their names?
Armand and Caden.
How old are they?
My Armand is 3 and Caden's 1.
Okay, who has them now? Mom?
Yes.
Uh-oh, grandmom got them. So, you know, this is the holiday season. There's some people may know your story, but you just recently, your father just recently died, correct?
Yes.
And somebody else that was really close to you. Who are those people that during this time of the year really affect you? Who are they?
Well, my grandma, just not this around this time of the year,
Right.
all the time, but she actually died December 23rd, 2019.
I could not remember that date. That's true.
And then, which is crazy, is because on that day in 2014, maybe 2015, we got in the house fire.
Wow. So you've been through a couple of tragedies
Yes.
during that time. Now, your grandmother, who was she to you? What did she mean to you? Everybody know who Shirley is, so go ahead.
Yes.
What did she mean
I
to you?
call her my baby.
You call your baby why?
Yes. We were just, anything she needed, I made sure she had it. Just her being there, me being able to talk to her, that was really my best friend. Like, we would go everywhere together. Like, I don't know. I just miss her so much.
So your grandmother, Shirley, and I know who Shirley is, she was able to handle whatever came out your mouth.
And she keep it real.
She would always keep it real? Now, when she kept it real, she kept it real, didn't she?
Yes.
So how do you feel that she's not here right now? What do you do? How do you imagine? We heard Zai say that she goes into a room. She doesn't want her family to feel that kind of energy around her, and that seems to help her get through. How do you manage?
Honestly, I cry. All my life, I held it in, try to be this big person, just bottle it all up, explode. I have 2 kids now, so I got to deal with it and then keep it pushing for my kids.
So let me ask you this. You said you used to bottle it up. When you bottled those things up, why did you bottle it up? Was it because you didn't think people understood? What was it?
I just deal with my own stuff. That's what I say. I deal with my own stuff.
Well,
I just think I didn't want to put my burden on somebody else.
really? Even though you needed the help. So you would just keep it into yourself. And then you told me you would explode. Now, what would happen when you explode?
My attitude, everybody say, you're so beautiful, you get good grades, everything's good with you. It's just your attitude sucks. Because I just dealt with everything by myself. I just held everything in.
So, but your grandmother Shirley,
Mm-hmm.
she was
Yeah.
the one that helped you to untie all that.
Yes.
Wow, that's amazing. But let me ask you another question. You have a couple businesses, or you just have one business? You have two businesses now, or one? Which one is it? Because I know you're entrepreneur.
One is not church appropriate.
Okay. Oh Lord.
But it's just adult toys. And then
No, not appropriate. No. Talk to me about braiding. Talk to me
and
about
then,
those
yes,
things.
Yes.
Oh my God.
And then I do braid. Kayla Flavors on Instagram.
What's that?
My Instagram. My business. My hair Instagram.
Okay. Y'all heard that, y'all. Hair.
But
Go ahead. You out there? We out there now. Ain't no sense in me getting all messed up now.
We're
So you
being
got your
honest.
hair. You got your hair. You braid. Don't you do lashes as well?
no, that's my sister.
That's your sister.
Yes.
Okay. So, but you do hair.
Mhm.
Okay. Now, how's the hair business coming?
Good. Even with that, I stayed to like 4 days out of the week, 5 days out of the week. But I really just stay at 4 some weeks because it'll become overwhelming for me.
To keep doing hair.
And then trying to deal with my feelings, trying to deal with my business. So again, that's why I just learned to just cry. Like,
Did you feel like it was wrong to cry?
I did. I thought I was just
Did you feel like you were weak or something?
just being strong, I guess.
You thought that was being strong by not crying.
Yeah.
How about you? Did you cry? Y'all, this is gonna be so funny.
When I lived in South Carolina, I never really cried. Only for like when I wanted stuff and I couldn't get what I wanted, I would cry. But like feelings, I never felt feelings until I came up here and like I got into church, because I was a lukewarm Christian. I kind of still am.
What? You were what?
A lukewarm Christian.
Oh my.
Because I don't know, my family will always be like, "Don't cry. Crying makes you weak. Like, don't show too much emotion. Don't let people get the better of you." So that's why I would always bottle up my feelings. So I just felt like my feelings never mattered. Like, I was always belittled for how I felt. My feelings were always pushed to the side. Like, I just felt, I don't know. I just felt different from everybody.
Okay. So, but watch this though. So now, you saying now that you're in church, you found out that you can't cry. Do you guys feel? Let me ask you this: do you feel like you're stronger? Did you find your strength now that you were able to express yourself, or did it make you feel more insecure? You know what I mean? Because, all right, for men, anyway, for men, crying sometimes is what they told us we shouldn't do because men aren't supposed to cry. But now I'm hearing you two ladies tell me that, you know, you held your tears and your emotions in, and now that you are able to cry, now that you're able to express yourself, how does that make you feel? Does it make you feel? Do you feel stronger? Do you feel better? Do you feel relieved? What is it?
Yeah. I feel relieved. You know that good cry?
That good-
You get right up, wipe your eyes, and go about your business.
Yeah. Now your dynamics are different than hers. How about you? When you crying, now that you're in church, you saying in church is where you got in touch with your real emotions and all the other stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it's to a certain extent. I would say, like, when I cry in church, I don't feel no type of way. Like, you know, everybody, it's the atmosphere. That's how I feel in the moment. But, like, when I get home and I cry, sometimes I feel bad for crying because it's like, they still feel the same way about me crying. Like, what are you crying for? And then now that I cry about everything. So it's kind of like I feel bad for crying. But then it's like I also have to get this feeling off of me. And sometimes I feel relieved. But, like, if I'm talking to my cousin, because I'm close to all my cousins, so if I'm talking to my cousin, I just feel sometimes I do feel like a burden because it's only me that cries. And I'm kind of like, are y'all gonna cry? Are y'all gonna cry too, or is it just gonna be me? So sometimes I do still like hold in what I'm feeling, and I'll just wait for everybody to leave the house, or I'll just come home from school early, or I'll come home from school late. On my way home from school, I'll cry, or I'll just be talking to myself while I'm walking home from school because I don't got that connection with anybody, I feel like.
So let me ask you this. I saw you this morning while I was out walking my dog. I did not know it was you because I didn't have my glasses on. I don't have my glasses on now. But it was you this morning. Do you walk? You don't walk to school by yourself normally, though, do you? Right? Because I'm always seeing you with the rest of the group. That's a little unusual this morning not to see you with the rest of the group. Now, I probably would have recognized you if I'd have seen you with the rest of the group. So you're saying that when you're by yourself is when you get a chance to let these things go. But now she said that when she held her stuff in, it showed up with rebellion. Here you go. I know, but you need that? Okay. It's all good. So now for her, she said that when she kept it in, she bottled things in, she was rebellious, she was this, she was that. What about you? What happened when you bottled stuff in?
The same thing. Yeah.
How so?
I don't know. I feel like I'm changing now. I feel like after my dad died, it's really like that's when I found myself, I would say. Well, I'm starting to find myself, I would say, because I haven't found myself all the way because I still don't know who I am that well. But I feel like after my dad died, I started noticing more about myself, like how I treat my mom or how I treat my grandma, my aunts, my cousins, my sisters. I was just a negative person. Like, I always had a nasty attitude. I was always disrespectful. I was never nice. But now I'm trying to be more nice, trying to be more open, trying to make everybody feel good about themselves. But I'm still a work in progress.
You still what?
A work in progress.
You're a work in progress? I believe that. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe that. Well, amen. Praise the Lord. So listen, Kayla, let me ask you this. Let's talk about your father. Let's talk about your father. You didn't know your father that well, right? Did you have an encounters with your father before when you were younger?
Up until I was about 7.
7. And then
And then my grandmom she was the one. She kept like telling me about this guy. Like she would say like my dad, but it was like kind of confusing because I thought that my sister's dad was my dad.
Okay.
So then one day I came home from school. He called my grandma's phone, and he was on a jail call.
So your dad had gotten incarcerated.
Yes.
Okay.
In 1999. So all throughout his jail time, I was talking to him. Ever since that first phone call, we would just build a bond. We would talk all the time. Well, at first it was like a little rough because I
Sure.
had to be around my grandma.
Uh-huh.
And then I was like, like I got a phone now. You could call me off my own phone. And then ever since then, we just built a bond.
So grandmom kept telling you about your dad.
Hmm.
And then finally you got a chance to talk to your dad. He was away for a long period of time. And then we got the opportunity to meet him as well. He had just come home.
Mm-hmm. July 23rd.
Wow. You know dates and everything.
2020. Yep.
Okay. And then something else happened, and then he died.
Yeah.
Well, now how did that make you feel?
I think this time, so with my grandma, I don't think I got to grieve. So then, with her being gone, I felt that void with my dad, and I would tell him everything, and the role that my grandma would play, I started playing it with my dad. And then he came home, which made us closer, and then he died. So now I'm just I don't know what I'm doing. Honestly, I think I'm just not dealing with it.
You think so?
I cried and I cried, and it still hits me harder every time.
Either one. Do you think it's wrong for it to hit you hard? I mean, let me say this to you. There's nothing wrong. I think you are dealing with it, but you don't know you're dealing with it. You're dealing with it because it hits you hard. But then the other thing, like Ziona, she doesn't have children. You better not have none neither. And you have some. You have 2 children. So you really don't have the time not to parent, right? So, well, yeah, you have to be a parent, right?
I have to be a parent, but I mean, are you saying like I don't have alone time?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm saying that because you're a parent, there's a different approach towards how you're dealing with things. Because as a parent, especially with young kids, you got a lot of things you have to keep doing with them. So when do you get the chance? Do you get the chance to, when you're dealing with it? I think you are dealing with it, but the problem is a lot of times maybe you feel like you're not, but you are. You know what I mean? I think you are dealing with it. I don't think you can. I don't think you can shut those emotions off. You know what I mean? Do you feel like you should be over this by now? Do you think that?
Honestly, yeah,
You do?
yes.
Wow. Why?
I was never the type of person that dwelled on things.
Okay. But this is a person that you spend a lot of time with, that finally you got a chance to spend time with, and then he's taken from you. But then your grandmother is taken from you in a very short period of time. So, let me say this to you. There's nothing wrong with things that come up every now and then. There's nothing wrong with they came up every day. If those thoughts, those emotions come up every day. And I believe that the reason why I say I believe you are dealing with it is because you're not suppressing it now. A lot of times we want to suppress the things that we feel, especially when it comes to people who have died and people that we miss. You know what I mean? But I think that you are dealing with it, and there's nothing wrong. I don't want you to feel guilty about, I should be over this by now. You might not ever get over that. You know what I mean? And it doesn't mean that you're not strong. It doesn't mean that you're holding on to things. It's that these are people that you loved. These are people that you love. These are people that meant something to you. And I think that your grandmother, your father, your godfather, your brother, I think you have to find ways to keep them alive in your heart. There's nothing wrong with keeping them alive. Don't lose them. Don't have it where, okay, I don't remember them anymore. You know what I mean? I think you have a right to remember them. They were good people to you. You know what I mean? They were the people that you talked to. How about, let me ask you this question, Zai. Were there anything that your father or your brother and them that they said to you that matters to you today?
They were always, I feel like they were kind of the same person. They didn't even know each other.
Okay.
They were kind of the same person. Well, they played the same role in my life. They would always be like, I was always like quick to get mad. They would be like, calm down. Don't let them get the best of you. Don't let them get the best of you. But I always let people get the best of me. I always let people fuel the fire to me, and I'm working on that because, I don't know.
Wait a minute. You said fuel the fire or fuel the fire?
Fuel the fire.
Fuel the fire. So people kind of get up under your skin?
Yes.
Man, that's tough. So they're always trying to tell you don't let people get up under your skin. Okay. And those are and they both recognize that that's the area of your life you need to keep working on. And so that's what you're working on now. You remember that. So has it worked for you?
It worked for me until yesterday.
All right, we ain't gonna talk about it.
I'm just saying.
Just till yesterday? Something got up under your skin yesterday.
Yes.
Okay. But then when it got up under your skin, do you remember what they said to you?
No, it's like all that had went out the window because I just feel like every time, I know it's the devil, but every time I'm working on something, it's always something else. Like you'll take 10 steps forward and get pulled back 10 steps, and I'm just like, why do I even try?
Well, no, you can't get like that. And watch this. You're not going back 10 steps. I guarantee you that. So you recognize it's the devil trying to get the best of you. Okay. Now, what are those things that they said that your father and your grandmother said to you that you remember that you're living with today?
My grandma, she would always be like, honor thy mother, thy father, and your dad should be
Honor your mother and father. She would always say that.
Yes, always. And then my dad, he always like worthy of the crown, like know my worth. He always say I'm his princess, but I would say like I'm a queen now. Like
Okay. Okay. I hear you. So, but those are the things that matter to you. Those are things you carry with you now. Those things meant something to you now.
Yeah.
That meant something to you, and those are the things that you live with now.
Mhm.
Wow. Well, we're ready to close out. So, if you had to say one thing or your last statement to people about this time and about around Christmas time or around about any holiday season, what would you tell them right now? What would you say?
Be strong. You can get through it. Jesus is always going to be there when you need him. When you need somebody to talk to, it's okay to cry. You can cry. And keep pushing.
Okay. So you said Jesus is always there for you. Yeah, because you was raised in church, but you pray too, huh?
Yes.
Okay. Pray. I was listening to you and Zai talking. You were saying to her, I was you years ago. So you recognize some of the challenges that she experienced. Wow. That's awesome. So Zai, closing words. What would you say to young people your age, to anybody? Because you don't seem to be afraid of nothing.
Oh, I don't know. I would just say be yourself. It's always gonna be somebody for you. It will always be somebody for you.
That's it?
Always be somebody for you.
Okay.
I mean, if you fall down, pick yourself back up, and if you can't pick yourself back up, find somebody that will.
Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you have heard from Kayla Lofton and Ziana Pernell tonight. I got it right. Listen, I hope you have enjoyed our segment of You're Not Alone. The purpose of this conversation was to let somebody know there are ways and there are things that we all experience, but you're not alone in it. And you just heard from two young ladies the things that they experienced and the way that they managed, some of the challenges they had. Both had a common denominator, and they used to suppress things. This year, don't suppress it. Don't suppress it. Find a place to let it out. Find a place to be able to express it. Find people that don't mind you expressing how you feel. And listen, they just told you, pick yourself up. If you can't pick yourself up, find somebody else that can help pick you up. I want you to understand that this season is not the totality of life, that this is a season and this too shall pass. You can get through this season without dying in the season. I want you to understand that. We're here for you. We're praying for you. Listen, this is another segment of You're Not Alone. I'm Bishop Michael Anthony. I'm your host. I'm here with Sister Kayla Lofton and Ziana Pernell. Thank you so much for tuning in with us. Peace.